Dr. Sylvia Earle is a living legend. She inspires us and brings out so much love and passion in us. A pioneering marine biologist, explorer, and National Geographic Society explorer in residence, Dr. Earle has dedicated over 6 decades to understanding and protecting the world's oceans. She is affectionately known as her deepness, a nod to both her deep-sea diving achievements and her deep emotional connection to the sea. In 2024, Dr. Earle visited the Philippines and dived into the vibrant waters of Verde Island Passage, which she had previously declared a hope spot through her organization, Mission Blue. This was not just a symbolic dive, it was a celebration of one of the most biodiverse marine ecosystems on the planet and a call to protect what she describes as the blue heart of the planet. Sylvia Earle was born on August 30, 1935, in Gibbstown, New Jersey. As a child, she had an early fascination with the natural world. Her family later moved to the Gulf Coast of Florida, where her connection to marine life flourished. "I got to know fish as individuals," she recalls. "Some of my best friends were fish." Encouraged by parents who nurtured her curiosity, Earle began collecting specimens from tide pools and documenting her observations in journals. By the time she was a teenager, she was determined to become a scientist, not an easy ambition in the 1950s, especially for a girl. Earle's life changed forever in her teens when she first used scuba gear in the Gulf of Mexico. The moment she slipped beneath the surface and took her first breath underwater, she described feeling like she had entered another universe. "That first breath underwater was like stepping onto another planet," she wrote. "There was silence and weightlessness and this overwhelming feeling that I had arrived where I was always meant to be." That experience ignited a lifelong journey. Earle would go on to earn her Bachelor of Science degree from Florida State University and a Ph.D. in phycology, the study of algae, from Duke University in 1966, becoming one of the first female deep-sea scientists in a field dominated by men. Dr. Earle's contributions to ocean science are vast. She has logged over 7,000 hours underwater and led more than 100 expeditions. In 1970, she led the all-female Tektite 2 team, living underwater for 2 weeks in a habitat off the U.S. Virgin Islands, a feat unheard of for women at the time. She set the record in 1979 for the deepest untethered walk on the seafloor at 1,250 feet below the surface off the coast of Oahu, wearing a pressurized suit called the gym suit. That dive earned her the nickname Her Deepness. Earle also served as the first female chief scientist of the U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, from 1990 to 1992. But beyond titles and records, her mission has always been to raise awareness and urgency about ocean conservation. In 2009, Dr. Earle launched Mission Blue, a nonprofit dedicated to igniting public support for marine protected areas, which she calls hope spots. These are special places that are critical to the health of the ocean, rich in biodiversity, often under threat, and deserving of protection. "Without the ocean, life on Earth could not exist," Earle often says. "We need the ocean, and the ocean needs us to protect it now more than ever." Hope spots range from the Galapagos Islands to the Ross Sea in Antarctica, and, closer to home for Filipinos, the Verde Island Passage. In March 2024, Dr. Earle returned to the Philippines to renew attention on the Verde Island Passage, VIP, one of the most biodiverse marine regions in the world. Often called the center of marine biodiversity, VIP lies between Luzon and Mindoro and hosts thousands of marine species, many found nowhere else. "I've been to many places around the world, but there's something extraordinary about Verde Island. It's not just a hope spot, it's a beacon of what's possible when people care enough to protect," she said during her speech at the Batangas Marine Conservation Symposium. Dr. Earle participated in dives near Verde Island, alongside local scientists, conservationists, and government officials. She also met with grassroots groups working on marine education and sustainable fisheries. In partnership with local organizations, Mission Blue reaffirmed Verde Island's status as a hope spot, emphasizing its importance not just for the Philippines but the world. Verde Island's reefs are teeming with life, from colorful damselfish and parrotfish to endangered sea turtles and delicate sea fans. The dense biodiversity here stems from its location within the Coral Triangle, the global epicenter of marine species richness. Protecting Verde Island helps ensure the survival of these species and the livelihoods of the communities that depend on healthy reefs for tourism and fishing. Dr. Earle described the dive as diving into a masterpiece of life. She noted the urgency of protecting such places in light of increasing threats from overfishing, plastic pollution, and climate change. Verde Island is not just important to the Philippines, it's important to the planet. If we lose this, we lose a treasure that can never be replaced. Dr. Earle's philosophy is grounded in optimism. Despite dire warnings about ocean decline, she remains hopeful, believing that every person has a role to play. We have the power to change the world, she says. We know what to do. We just have to do it. Through Mission Blue and her countless talks, books, and interviews, Earle continues to inspire new generations of scientists, divers, and ocean lovers. Dive with purpose, she says. Every breath we take underwater can also be a breath of advocacy. Dr. Sylvia Earle's journey from a curious child in Florida to one of the most respected voices in marine conservation is both awe-inspiring and urgent. As she often says, now is the time. Not next year, not later, now. The next 10 years will determine the next 10,000. So, whether you're a diver, a teacher, a policymaker, or someone who simply loves the ocean, now is the moment to dive into action.